Good morning. Hi, I'm Suzanne from Rogers Gardens. Welcome back to our live videos here on Facebook and Instagram. It is Thursday morning. It's a little chilly. We're going back into a little bit of a cooler spell, but we still have Tomato Mania in full roar going on. An exciting thing for after Tomato Mania is our tomatoes from David Rizzo. So David works here at Rogers Gardens, but he also has a little side hustle doing vegetables and other herbs and things like that for Rogers Gardens. It's called David's Nursery, and so David is going to be joining us to tell us all about his tomatoes. You're bringing other things, but right now we'll just talk about tomatoes.
Yeah, I'm bringing basil and some other stuff later on.
So David, tell us a little bit about your nursery and how you got started.
My nursery is a small nursery. I got it started because I love growing heirloom tomatoes. So, it's been about 10 years since I've been really growing. But last year I got my nursery license, and so I grow a lot of different heirlooms. I grow some herbs, but heirloom tomatoes and heirloom peppers are probably my specialty. So I grow small batches of about 1,000 to 1,400.
So what are your favorites that you're growing this year?
My favorites, I love pink prickly tie-dye. I love summer love. I love Amos Coley. There's so many. Blue gold. Oh gosh, what are the other ones I can think of? Black and brown boar. I love a lot of the varieties from Brad Gates out of Napa. His company is called Wild Boar Farms. I love his varieties of seeds. That's why pink prickly tie-dye is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
So, you've been doing this for about 10 years.
Yeah.
You've been working at Rogers since, I think, dinosaurs roamed the earth.
I've been working at Rogers for almost 20 years.
And David is our resident vegetable expert, so we have a ton of guests. David has a whole tribe of people who come in and get his advice. So not just tomatoes, if you ever need help with any sort of gardening, but specifically, he's so good with vegetable gardens and very specific vegetables and herbs. David is kind of like our go-to for what's wrong with my plant. When it stumps everyone else, David usually swoops in, tells everybody, and then helps fix the situation. When will you be bringing your tomatoes into Rogers Garden?
My tomatoes will be ready in a couple weeks. So I'm hoping since it's been colder at night, I'm hoping in about 3 to 4 weeks I'll have my varieties in here.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And are you going to bring all of your varieties in, or will they come in waves?
They'll come in waves or I'll trickle. There might be like 10 or 15 flats here, 10 or 15 flats there, so they'll trickle in.
And will you be bringing us peppers as well?
Peppers, it's going to be later. Peppers is probably not until more into April because I'm just seeding those right now.
And any herbs?
Herbs are going to be later. Like I probably will bring in maybe some basil and some dill and some other stuff, but that's going to be more into spring, more into April.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And so what are your tips for growing tomatoes for the average person, starting out?
Hold on, Suzanne. Pass the mic back and forth when you ask the questions.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Or step closer so you can hold the mic together.
Okay, David, when you have people who are new to tomatoes, just starting out, what are your biggest tips for them?
I think my biggest tip is looking how much sun you have. Sun exposure is really important. So 6 to 8 hours of full sun. Doesn't matter if it's in the ground or containers, but always 6 to 8 hours of sun. Tomatoes are more of a tropical plant and they need that sun. So full sun.
And watering?
Watering consistently. It depends on where you're at. Coastal.
People always think they should water every day, but that's not the truth.
No, I don't like watering every day because it's going to affect the quality of the fruit. So what I'm always trying to do is I'll start out like sometimes twice a week. If it gets hot, maybe 3 times, but I'm watering anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week.
Yeah. That's a good thing. And so what if people discover that there's something going on with their tomatoes? I had a guest yesterday said she'd been growing tomatoes for years and she found her first hornworm last year. What would you do for people who have hornworms?
Well, when you get into the insects, as a preventative, sometimes I will spray like an organic insecticide like BT. Mm-hmm. And what I usually do is they always show up in the summertime. So sometimes I'll spray BT once a month, starting in June. So once in June, once in July, and once in August.
And when you're planting your tomatoes, what sort of things do you want to put in there or add each month or every week? I know you are a big, huge proponent of Malibu.
Yeah,
so.
I love adding a lot of compost. I will still fertilize with the down-to-earth all-purpose, but I want to use the Malibu compost and then worm castings and just get that soil rich. And it just varies. If they're in the ground, I'll feed every 6 to 8 weeks. If they're in a pot, I'll feed once a month.
Okay. And the Malibu has a really, really good compost tea. I know you're a huge proponent of it. You've gotten me to use it now,
it's a good
and
one.
I love using it. It is so good for tomatoes, especially because that Malibu compost tea, you can, hold on, is that better? With the Malibu compost tea, you can also use it as a foliar spray. So you can get it on the leaves of the plant and it's going to absorb it that way, which I think is really, really helpful for tomatoes. You want to keep them as strong as possible so that they can fight off all sorts of, diseases. So any other things about?
The main thing, look at your maturity dates. And another thing that I do watch out for, Maturity dates are how long that takes this. Let's pull one of these tags and I'll show you. Okay. So, that's a blank tag.
Bronze torch.
Okay, bronze torch. So when you look at here, this is 65 days. So once I plant this plant, it's going to take 65 days to actually produce fruit. And so one thing that you'll find, look into where you're at too, because sometimes on the coast you stay cooler. So some of the earlier, faster varieties do better on the coast because they don't need as much heat. The bigger varieties might need a little farther inland. So if you're growing like German Johnson or Brandywine, they'll do better more in like say Irvine. But see, this little bronze torch will be fine in Newport, Corona del Mar, Huntington Beach. So that's one thing to really watch for is earlier varieties are smaller varieties and they don't need as much heat. So that's important to look at. And
there are, as we go through the season here at Rogers, we're going to have more than just Tomato Mania. We'll have tons of information. We'll have tomatoes probably through September easily because there are cool season tomatoes that'll come up later. And cool season basically means that you're going to plant them maybe in July as maybe a second crop. I like to do that. Plant them later on in the season and then you're going to have them when the weather starts getting a little
Can I show them some of my
Yeah, show them some of your tomatoes, David. Hold on, get the microphone.
I start out in 72 plug trays. So these are 72s, and this is a really good variety that I got the seeds from Baker Creek Seeds out of Missouri. So this is a variety called Black Strawberry. So I'm going to separate these. So there's 72 in there. So once I separate them and replant them, I'm going to pot them up to 4-inch containers. So this is a 72 plug tray. So
David, tell me about this tomato. Tell me.
This is a good one. This variety, if you can so Black Strawberry is a little bit bigger than a cherry tomato, and they're really sweet, sort of a purple black tomato. So really good varieties. So I got a bunch of these that I'll be transplanting. I don't know if you can see the new the true leaves are coming out. These are going to be transplanted in probably about another week or two into the bigger containers. Mm-hmm. And so the next size they'll go to is 4-inch containers. So
he's going to grab 4-inch containers.
Like you see, these are some of the 4-inch containers. So these are probably about 4 weeks old, and so that's from that size. And so these are pink Berkeley tie-dyes. This is one of my favorite varieties. When they're really little like this, I do want to get them to harden off more before I bring them in. So I want them a little tougher, want them a little bit bigger.
And this one has got to be.
Yeah, this one's probably 3 weeks old. So, but it's been cold at night, so keep them warmer when they're little. Sometimes even when they're this size, I'll bring them in the house at night to keep them warm, and I'll put them out during the day to harden them off. So that's another trick that I do, Yeah.
Good advice.
Yeah, and then once they're this size, grab one of these. They're perfect size to plant. So this is a perfect size, nice and hardened off with a straight trunk and a lot of new growth.
Tell them how they should plant.
Oh, I'm a big proponent of pinching off the leaves. So like I just take my fingers and I twist and pinch, and then I clean it all up. And then I'm going to plant it up to here deeper. And the reason why I'm going to plant it deeper is when you plant a tomato plant deeper, you're going to get all those roots along the side stem that are going to come out when it's buried. And that way the roots will take up more water, more nutrients, and become a stockier plant. So plant them deeper. But always leave a couple branches in the top, so plant it about there. Yeah.
And then, so what if you buy a tomato and it's this size here, and it has flowers on it?
I always pick the flowers off. But you got to be careful not to pinch the new growth off because it's going to come near. So sometimes I wait for the flower trusses to get a little longer and then I pinch those off. But I don't want to hurt that growing point or that growing tip.
Yeah. So, do we have any questions, Marissa?
Yes, we do.
Oh, good.
Well, you have the Japanese tomatoes that you had last year.
We do. We have a lot of the Japanese tomatoes already, so there's plenty here. And just a little side note, we're getting a huge shipment tomorrow morning, so we'll be ready for the second and last weekend of Tomato Mania.
Yeah, there's a good one that I like called Reika. Reika is a good one. It's more of a medium slicer, so that's definitely a good one.
And then when you come down here, just in case you didn't know this, if you're coming down for Tomato Mania, all the tomatoes are alphabetical. So we have the tomatoes on our website. You can look through, see what you're interested in, and then come down, walk through the aisles. It's really fun to see from A to Z, basically from Ace to Zapotec.
Yeah.
You're going to just have a really fun time seeing all the different tomatoes, but we also have a ton of chilies. Is there another question?
No, that's
No more
it.
questions. Okay. Wait.
Never mind.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. David, do you have any last thoughts on tomatoes and David's nursery? And
Well, the one thing is come down and see us. We're going to be here all weekend. I'll be here tomorrow, and then I'll be here Saturday, Sunday. And so if you have any questions, just now plant. That's the main thing as we go into March. This is planting season. Even if you have to keep them a little warmer, now's the time to plant.
That's great advice. And also, now is the time for the biggest selection. I mean, when David brings his tomatoes in, we're going to have a whole unique selection for you. But right now, it is the best time to choose the tomatoes that you want. So for David and me, that's going to be it for today. Come on down to Tomato Mania, and don't forget that we also have Rogers Garden Spring Opening happening in 2 weeks from tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. And we have Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. We have a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to, and rogersgardens.com for all of your shopping needs. You can get a really good idea of what the store is looking like right now. And we'll see you next Tuesday. Oh, wait, hold on. Marissa's stopping us.
Sorry.
Marissa's stopping
We have
us.
questions now.
A question.
Yeah.
What is the most disease-resistant tomato plant?
Okay, David.
Oh, gosh. I think some of the hybrids like Celebrity. But one of the things that people don't realize, some of the heirlooms can have high resistance too, like Mortgage Lifter and German Johnson and Hillbilly Potato Leaf. They can have high resistance against stuff too. So, and even a lot of the smaller tomatoes do also. Like I think some of the heirlooms like Stupice, Socolates, Sasha's Adelaide. There's a whole bunch of them.
There are a ton, and it definitely depends on how you take care of them as well. Making sure that you don't get water on the leaves of the tomato when you're watering is like step number one. It's like the best way to help avoid spreading diseases.
I don't water at night. When it's really early and we're still a little colder at night, I don't water at night because I don't want to get the leaves wet because you might have a problem with early blight. And then later in the season, powdery mildew. So always water the ground. Don't water the leaves in the evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you need to prune the tomato plants?
See, I will clean them up more as the season goes on. So that's sort of a little bit of a two-part question. So what I do is I like to clean up the bottom of the leaves for better air ventilation through the plant. I know some people really like to clean them out for suckers, but I don't trim them because you get most of your fruit off of that new growth, and if you trim them or prune them, you might get less fruit. So, you can.
I mean, there's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Of like, do you want to pinch out from
The suckers,
the little suckers here in the? I don't know if you can see it from the stem and the leaf,
inner nodes.
These little inner nodes. Some people really feel it's important to pinch those out because they're not going to fruit. But some people also feel like you could also leave it open to diseases entering the plant, or So it's very personal. There's no right way, or I guess there are wrong ways, but but there's a lot of right ways. How's that?
But the main thing, I don't prune a lot. If I want a smaller variety and I don't want such big plants, I will look at some of the bush varieties and some of the determined varieties too. So that's another trick.
It's true. You can definitely, we have such a huge selection of dwarf varieties.
Oh yeah, got some good ones too.
We have one that will only get 7 to 10 inches tall. I love that. I just think it's amazing that we could have a tomato plant this big that's producing.
I want to
tons of
try.
fruit.
There's a new variety that I've never tried called Tasmanian chocolate. So I'm going to try that one this year. New
I'm
variety.
trying this one called Pinocchio Orange, which
Okay.
is the 7 to 10.
Oh, like an ultra dwarf.
a micro dwarf.
Yeah,
So
cool.
that's pretty cool.
Okay,
All
cool.
right.
Okay, can you repeat the name of the tie-dye tomato?
Oh, pink Berkeley tie-dye.
Oh, okay.
So there's
So pink.
Berkeley tie-dye and there's pink Berkeley tie-dye.
The biggest difference I find with the two, the regular Berkeley tie-dyes tend to be more green, like green pink, but the pink is going to be more pinker and the flavors come out just, it has an interesting flavor. They're very rich and sweet, so one of my favorite varieties because you get a good amount of production. I used to always grow Cherokee purple, but I found that when I switched to pink Berkeley tie-dye, I get more production out of them.
Yeah,
know.
I love the pink Berkeley
Yeah,
tie-dye.
it's a
They're
good one.
like the standard in our
Yeah.
tomato garden.
All right, do we ship live plants?
We do not.
No,
Sadly, we
no.
do not. You have to come here and visit us.
Yeah.
We demand this.
There's just so many restrictions from state to state, from city to city. So there's way too many restrictions with the Department of
These are
Agriculture.
pretty delicate,
Yeah.
delicate little plants. So
Okay, and do you like black Kringle?
black crim.
It just says Kringle.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. Most of the purple black varieties are really good, but there is one called Black Crim that's really a good tomato.
That's like
Larger
a
slicing.
old timey,
Yeah.
super steady Eddie good tomato to grow.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, how do you keep rodents from tomatoes?
That can be a tough one. That can be a tough one.
I'll give Marissa a picture of our fortress of tomatoes.
Yeah.
She can put it on our Facebook or whatever. It's a lot of. This is just what I find. You're good, and then they discover it, and you're not so good. But we built an entire enclosure. It looks like a chicken coop, and this year we've fortified it with even more wire around the bottom, and we've put metal meshing on the ground so that they can't dig to get in there as well. So it's become like the whole process. But keep them up high.
Yeah.
Try and keep them away from an area that, if you have them on a table, don't have it be next to a fence where a squirrel or a rat or something can jump onto it. What else?
I always plant farther away, and what I used to do a long time ago is I would use some of the rounder square cages, and I would take chicken wire and I would pin it to the ground, and sometimes I'd even secure it to the ground, and I'd wrap it all the way around the whole plant with a fine chicken wire. That you can get at most of your hardware places.
Chicken wire because
they'll squeeze through.
We have chicken wire that's about the size of a quarter, and eventually the rats will decide it's worth the risk.
They'll squeeze through stuff, so
And
you
they
gotta
will.
really,
So,
yeah.
The smaller the wire, the better. But if you're really invested in tomatoes, build an enclosure and make it, collapsible so that you can put it away for the season if you like. It's a thing.
Okay, if you could pick only 5 tomato plants, what would they be?
I would do, I break them down into sections. So I would do a cherry tomato like Sun Gold Cherry. I would do a small slicing tomato like a pink ping pong. I would do some bigger ones like pink Berkeley tie-dye. I would do a red slicer like big beef or brandy wine. I would probably do another little orange tomato like John Fumé, or or if I'm cooking, I'll do a San Marzano. So it just varies on what you use them for. But mix up a cherry, a slicer, maybe a purple black, maybe a gold, maybe a cooking sauce tomato. So
I would say I always grow like I love Snow White cherry, and last year I learned that I loved Napa Chardonnay cherry.
Yeah.
That one just did really well. I mean, and that's the thing about tomatoes, and I'm pretty sure everyone will agree. Sometimes you have a good year, and sometimes you don't. And who knows why? It just, with weird weather and stuff. But like, what I did well with last year is usually what I carry to the new year, and then I, pick some new things. But last year, Napa Chardonnay was hands down our favorite, and we also grew Genuine, which was a new tomato for us, which is called a marriage tomato.
Oh, okay.
So Genuine is there's a marriage between 2 hybrids, and so it was really a super good producer for us. We loved it, and that Madame Marmande was really, really
I'm trying a couple new varieties. I'm trying some of the dwarfs. I'm trying Saucy Mary. I'm going to try Tasmanian chocolate. I'm trying another one called Kiss the Sky. which is like a little small multicolor. So it's fun to try the different varieties.
Everyone has their favorites, and it just depends on what you like and,
Yep.
and where you live and
That's
what your
true too.
experience is.
Yeah, are
So-
you hot? Or are you coastal cooler in the summer? So yeah.
Will you sell tomatoes after this weekend?
Oh yeah, guy, we'll have tomatoes all the way into
September.
way into summer, even like way into summer.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Can you grow tomatoes in a barrel container?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can grow them in a container, barrel. Just use a good potting soil. I'll either use the Malibu potting soil. That's a good one. Blue Ribbon is a good one. So just a good draining potting soil. You do have to fertilize a little bit more in containers, but get yourself a good cage, and that definitely a whiskey barrel is big enough to really do like one tomato or even two. So depending on your
And give your tomatoes a lot of.
yeah.
Last question.
Okay.
Have you heard about putting a tint of sardines in a hole when planting?
You can do that, but one thing when you do that, it takes a longer time for it to break down. Your better thing is most of our organic.
Animals too.
Yeah,
I would
it
think
can.
that like a raccoon would be like, wow, free food.
It can, but a lot of your organic fertilizers have fish meal and fish bone meal in them. So, but it would take too long for it to break down. So that's why look at the down-to-earth fertilizers like the all-purpose and the vegetable.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're done with questions.
Okay.
Okay, so you heard me say everything, but again, rogersgardens.com for all your
Yep.
shopping needs. We got Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. Join us everywhere. Get on our email list so that you will know about all of the events that we have coming up, because we have so many events for spring and summer through the rest of the year. So we look forward to seeing you again soon, and that's it.
Bye, guys. See
David
ya.
Rizzo.
Bye. Bye.